of Miami. Hi, everybody. Delighted to see you. Should be a good one today. Michael Regai alongside Nate Ross. This one breaks down pretty simple. The athleticism and the ability to dart around the floor from VCU, tangling with that size and sometimes intimidating power on the front line, Nate, of Miami.
Miami's got a bunch of big bodies, all injured last year, all back. The freshmen that had to play last year are now sophomores. VCU's got great athleticism. Should be a great matchup.
And it begins with VCU. Eric Maynor and Jamal Schuler, a tremendous upper-class backcourt. Maynor, although didn't shoot it well yesterday, certainly paced away. And Michael Anderson had a big one on the front line. Now take a look at Frank Haith and his Miami Hurricanes. James Dews will start in the backcourt in place of Lance Hurdle. Brian Asbury and Jack McClinton, they form a dynamic scoring punch. And, of course, Anthony King, the man that gets everything taken care of around the rim. Settle back and enjoy it. We're on go in this semifinal. Game number 2 as we'll take you to the hoop here out of Puerto Rico. Miami wearing their white trimmed in the orange and green, and VCU's Rams in their black trimmed in the gold, with Miami with the first look in the offensive end.
Going to be man-to-man both ways most of the day.
Anthony King picking up right where he left off yesterday. That short jumper that fell very softly in the paint.
Well, we know he's big and strong. He's also pretty quick on that move. That was nice.
And went right down to King on the block to get him a touch early on.
Got to keep the big guys happy early. If you want him to play on this end, you got to give him the rock on the other end.
Now keep an eye, as we said, on this upper-class backcourt. The young man with the basketball, Jamal Schuler. Well, he went off for 9 of his 20 down the stretch. But great look on that baseline, but Frank Dango got swallowed up. Asbury will push it. Brian Asbury. Look at how Miami crashes the offensive glass. Jimmy Graham at 6'8", 250, and Anthony King on that front line as well at 6'9", 255. Anthony Grant, stellar first year, 28 wins last season in his first year as a VCU coach, as Jack McClinton has laced that three. Boy, McClinton, one of the top deep shooters in all of the ACC. And Frank Haith really starting to turn this program around in Miami. As we said, they were predicted early preseason prognostications to finish last in the ACC. We're not so sure about that.
No, well, everybody was hurt last year inside. Now they're all back. They're all healthy, and they are very, very talented.
Jamal Schuler just traveled with the basketball, and if you're going to start to try to make your way to the rim through the paint against Miami,
better have the pads on.
Wow, yeah. You better be ready for some contact and for that size to show up.
This is what VCU does, though. For the first time they've gotten an opportunity to play full-court defense. That's what they're best at. Big ball movement for the Hurricanes there.
Brian Asbury will stroke that rainbow three, and Miami is off to a quick 8-0 advantage.
You could script a perfect start on offense for Frank Haith's team. They just got it so far. 3 buckets.
Well, look at Frank Haith at the top of your screen. He's really working it over there, up and down his bench. Pitching the shutout early on the defensive end, and that basketball belongs to Miami as they start very strong on both ends of the floor.
I really think Coach Haith knows his team can score points against anybody in the nation. They got to stop people at the defensive end in order to be a very good team. Yeah, and that's what he's imploring them to do right there.
Nate, good point. They're averaging 94.5 in their first 2 games. They lit up Florida Southern 104-61, and then of course yesterday in their big win over Marist.
He wants to win here, but he's looking at the ACC conference. He knows he's got to stop people in that league.
Brian Asbury trying to continue with a hot hand. Now some numbers here for Jamal Schuler. Schuler to the pull-up. Basketball will stay with VCU's Rams. College basketball on ESPNU continues tonight with both semifinal games of the O'Reilly Auto Parts tip-off. Arkansas and Providence, and then Temple and the College of Charleston, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Puerto Rico tip-off right here on ESPNU tonight. For more information, log on to ESPNU.com. A lid on the rim right now for VCU's Rams at the offensive end.
It's not the end of the world, obviously, because VCU tried their whole thing on defense.
Jimmy Graham with a knockdown jumper, and this lead has suddenly ballooned at 10-0. 10 unanswered early on. Frank Dango got rejected by Brian Asbury, and then Dango crashed over Anthony King for the offensive foul.
King and Graham are great at helping. Defender on the ball gets beat. King is positioned. He got taken the blow right in the chest into your living room. Great defensive play got the charge.
That was Brian Asbury that served up a facial on Frank Dongo. That pressure from VCU. James Dews can't triple.
Might have been a timeout for Coach Grant if that one went in.
So Dews getting the start today. Lance Hurdle did yesterday, but Dews shot it real well in the Miami win. Michael Anderson didn't get that shot from in tight to go down, and on the glass though was Will Famini for VCU, and that foul is going to go on I believe Jack McClinton for Miami.
Ball was halfway down in the basket, man. He just spun back out. Famini, big strong man on his own right, got the offensive rebound, got hammered. He's going to have to fight and claw and scratch and everything he needs to do, because when the first two get tired for Miami, and here it comes right now, they're big, two guys are taking a break. Here comes two more. They just keep throwing bodies at you.
Checking in for Miami, that is Dwayne Collins wearing number 21. Collins, a 6'8" sophomore. Also in for the Canes is Raymond Hicks, and Hicks had some special moments yesterday. He wears number 42, and Adrian Thomas, the 6'7" sophomore from Pembroke Pines, Florida. All three of them on the floor. Well, Miami has started well. It's 4 for 6. VCU has had to use the free throw line. James Dews, that's a tough floater that fell for him as he operated on the baseline.
Talk about Miami's size. They're pretty athletic and pretty quick to go along with the size.
Eric Maynor touched that up. That's probably a great feeling for Maynor and Anthony Grant. Their all-conference performer and the Cousy candidate shot just 1 of 12 yesterday.
Got to get off to a good start, didn't yesterday? Their defense is what they rest their hat on every single game. They got to tighten up the D at this end.
Basketball in the hands of Jack McClinton, and he got rejected by Eric Maynor.
Maynor got beat on the play and recovered to block the shot. That was pretty impressive.
T.J. Gwynn is on the floor now for Virginia Commonwealth. T.J. Gwynn, 6'4" sophomore out of Burlington, North Carolina. Played well down the stretch in the second half yesterday, along with Jamal Schuler.
So did that guy, yep.
Yeah, Schuler was terrific. Had that three-point play that put VCU on top late. T.J. Gwynn. See how he readjusted that because of those flying at him.
A lot of big bodies, Collins and company going after him that time. Just pull up and shoot a 10-foot jumper. Don't take it into the trees if you don't have to.
So we approach 5 minutes in. Delighted to have you part of it on ESPNU. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Tip-Off Classic, the semifinal between two of the winners from yesterday, VCU and Miami. Well, that three came up short from Raymond Hicks, but Dews has got an offensive board.
VCU wants to trap. You can see Coach Grant yelling, come on, come get him. When they do, that's fine, but Miami gets out of the trap with their size. They got to anticipate the next pass and rotate. There you go.
McClinton being hounded, stepping in a passing lane. Will Famini.
Absolutely perfect execution on D.
Maynor, wonderful give up to the running Famini.
That's what VCU does. They anticipate the next pass, make them throw a floater, steal it, and score.
Well, Eric Maynor, you're going to just delight at his consummate skills. That's James Dews. Had a good look at three. Hicks with strength, and he's going to the free throw line. They crash the offensive glass every time the shot goes up. Do the Miami Hurricanes. They're off to a wonderful start. Brian Asbury, part of it. Miami by 6 when we get back. Frame downtown San Juan, and you might actually get a chance to explore some of that finery tomorrow.
Old San Juan, the forts down there, very historic, beautiful places. Very, very close to where we're staying, too, a couple miles away. Miami
started perfect, and then have since gone just 1 for 6, and VCU missed the first 4. Now they on a 6-0 run for a moment after they had gone down 10-0. You get a good look at Raymond Hicks at the free throw stripe. Another one of those big bodies. 6'7" senior out of the state of Texas is Raymond Hicks. He came on yesterday. We were very impressed with the Miami bench. It included Raymond Hicks along with Dwayne Collins and Adrian Thomas, the front line on the bench. And of course, then you throw in Lance Hurdle and Eddie Rios, and truthfully, Frank Haith can go 11, maybe 12 deep without much drop-off.
Yeah, and a lot of big He can change the style that he plays. We talked about guys like Collins yesterday had to play last year because of all the injuries to people like Anthony King and Raymond Hicks. Now he's back. He's got a year under his belt in ACC experience, and now the guys that were hurt aren't anymore, so there's a lot of depth in the front court and great backcourt help, but the freshman Rio's right there guarding the ball.
And speaking of freshman, Joey Rodriguez, a young man, one of the 7 that Anthony Grant recruited out of the Sunshine State of Florida, is on the floor. So you know that Anthony Grant and Frank Haith probably exchanged some pleasantries along the recruiting trail at times. Schuler ran down his own missed jumper. As Lance Kearse that got tied up. And that, of course, was Adrian Thomas. Lance Kearse on the floor for VCU. He's a 6'6" freshman out of Fort Myers, Florida.
VCU is used to having their defense create points for them. It's not happened yet. It might later happen one time in the turnover. They need to create their own offense here, not what they're used to doing.
Joey Rodriguez off the ball fake, then had to readjust that. It results in a turnover. This is Lance Hurdle. He got belted on his way to the hoop by Jamal Schuler. Schuler and Rodriguez, one of them is going to pick up the foul. They both hit him. And it's going to be Jamal Schuler on the VCU foul.
Smart to throw it up to the rim, but the official said hit him before the shot went up, so it's Miami basketball.
So look at this, just 6 minutes into the game. Frank Haith's 5 on the floor, all off the bench. Only 6 minutes in.
That's great. A lot of coaches take a TV game such as this, cut it into 4 quarters. Before each 4 minutes, that's when the timeouts come, and just, son, you got to bust your hump for 4 minutes, and I'm giving you a break. And that's exactly what he's done with his starters.
Hicks put it on the floor. And had to force it up on the rim because Michael and Larry Sanders was there. Sanders, the 6'9" freshman for VCU, and a shot blocking machine. Had 1 yesterday, but had 5 in the 2 exhibition games and then 3 in his college debut.
We talked about how VCU is so good in the full court press. They've got to score to get into it. They haven't done that enough to get into the full court press to cause Miami problems.
Schuler will work off the Kearse pick. Had to pick that dribble up. T.J. Gwynn has dialed some long distance for VCU on the 3.
And here comes full court pressure.
Miami lead at 5. That's a quick trigger 3 from Adrian Thomas. Shot it very early in the shot clock.
That's what you want to happen if you're VCU. Get the freshmen a little heat, make them shoot the ball before they want to. There we go.
Rodriguez. Magnificent look, and he found Lance Kearse for the quick hoop. 5-0 mini spurt for VCU. Hurdle wanted to elevate and got clipped from behind, and they'll step to the free throw line for Miami.
Schuler had a chance to almost catch that shot by Hurdle, but he got him on the hand as well as he was trailing the play. This is how VCU attacks. They've got a quick shot, got the ball inside. Defender overruns the play. Kearse gets an easy 2 because of the quick shot at the other end based upon their pressure defense. It's all part of the puzzle for Anthony Grant and company, a la Florida with Billy Donovan, because that's where he was as an assistant.
Lance Hurdle looking to earn playing time as he connects on his first. He's transferred in from UC Santa Barbara as 4 new. Miami, not new. The starters come back on the floor with the exception of James Dews, and he'll be coming in for Lance Hurdle. But Hurdle yesterday hit 3 threes, so we saw that long-range stroke of his. Went 3 for 5 from long range in the big Miami win.
Dear Frank Haith, that's a great asset to throw 4 bodies in the game. Twice already they've substituted almost the entire team, and you don't skip a beat.
Well, it turns into an entire quintet, because after Hurdle shoots the free throws, he's out, and here comes James Dews back in.
Always fresh bodies. That's a great asset, plus great ability.
The 5 starters back on the floor now. Rodriguez got in trouble when he stepped on that baseline. Joey Rodriguez turning it over, the true freshman out of the state of Florida for VCU.
Left his feet with his back to his teammates and stepped out of bounds first, but you just can't put yourself in that kind of position. Pull it back out to the wing and run your offense.
Second turnover for Joey Rodriguez. We expected a good one, and we've got just that. McClinton's got just mad range as he deposits another 3.
The assist goes to the big man. Jimmy Graham posted up deep, got it. The whole defense got sucked in. McClinton burned him. The
top 3-point bombardier in all of the ACC last year. You ready for this? 44% from long distance for Jack McClinton. And now off the T.J. Gwynn miss, Miami heading to the offensive end.
44% was without a lot of help inside. Now he's got the help inside, slipped. A lot of slippers on this floor in the last couple days.
I think you were saying yesterday, could somebody be that score to help out Jack McClinton? We're going to find out. Miami by 8. Good one going on in San Juan. Come on back. Well, the little ones during the course of this tournament in Puerto Rico have been out in force enjoying their hoops as Miami off to the hot start in the first 8 minutes and 37 seconds with a 19-11 lead. Up to the minute news for everything that is college sports, hoops included. Log on to ESPNU.com. Online service is a gateway to the best in college sports content from ESPN, combining the latest news, scores, video highlights, podcasts, and a whole lot more. Now, if you don't have ESPNU, make sure to log on to ESPNU.com. You type your zip code in. That's all you need to do. Call your local cable operator or satellite provider. Log on to ESPNU.com today. Michael Regai with Nate Ross, and you look at the turnover story. Remember yesterday, VCU, 19 turnovers. They're one of the best last year in taking care of the basketball in the country. Top 5, as a matter of fact, at only 10 turnovers per game. So there's the Miami Vice grip-like block party that starts for Anthony King as he swatted TJ Gwynn.
First of a few that he will have today. A little up fake and get him in the air. Find the guy he left for an easy 2.
A clean look at that VCU jumper from Mick Brown. Didn't go down. And we take a look back at Anthony King and his return to sender.
You can see he leaves his man because the ball is committed to be shot and just smacks it out of the air. Great presence. The only thing he can do better, learn from the big lefty, Mr. Russell, is keep it on the court, because you give the ball right back to the opponent, obviously, but it sends a little message when you smack it in the 5th row, too.
Active shot block leader in the ACC, his 2nd today after 7 yesterday. We'll see if Eric Maynor, Will Famini can take charge here. Famini off the drop steps. Michael Anderson had a great opportunity to finish and didn't.
Great idea. Got everybody in the air and hit Anderson. As you said, Anderson wasn't ready to shoot it.
So the starting 5 back on the floor now for Frank Haith. Jack McClinton, James Dews, Jimmy Graham. That's stolen away by Eric Maynor like a free safety in football. Maynor, wonderful crossover, and he's going to the free throw line. He got from here to there just like that on that crossover move. If
you could take VCU's philosophy and bottle it into 11 seconds, that was it. Trap, steal a pass, try to turn it into points. Watch this. He backed off as he threw it. There's the steal, and take it right to the rack. Going to pay for it because about 400 pounds of people just hit you.
Jimmy Graham, Brian Asbury. He only shot 1 of 12, but the 6 assists and 4 of them in the second half and 3 of them in the last 5 minutes down the stretch were outstanding. As in that what a floor general needs to do. If you're an extension of the coach, you're not shooting it well, play the rest of the game to excel that way.
Made big free throws down the stretch as well. Everybody on VCU knows when the trap occurs, get ready to be a free safety and just go steal the pass. And that's exactly what Maynor did last time. Here it comes again.
So Maynor hits a couple to bring the Rams of VCU back within 7. And boy, they're going to be heard from. George Mason was picked to win, Jim Larenega's club, in the Colonial Athletic Association. So many good basketball teams, and just absolutely magnificent leagues. Off the spin, Anthony King didn't get it to go. Those white shirts crashed the glass, but Michael Anderson will send Eric Maynor away for VCU. Maynor to raise. Had a good look at that jumper. So the jump shot right now here in San Juan is not there for Eric Maynor.
If he can turn it, or like we talked about in the first game, just get a layup, get something to make him feel better about him shooting the basketball. Nobody knows better than the guy who shot it whether it's going in or not. You just got to believe the next one's going in. Great athletes have lousy memories. He's got to have that.
Sure. The next one's going to go in the hole, right?
You got to believe it.
Even if you miss 20 in a row.
Exactly right. Larry Bird never said, I don't want to shoot. I'm afraid I'm going to miss the next one. Just keep putting it up.
That's going to be a travel on Brian Asbury as he lost his footing over there on that far sideline.
No matter what happens, when you play VCU, you know the trap's coming. You're not hesitant, but you know it's coming. That time he tried to get rid of it quicker before he got trapped. Feet came out from under him and he walked. So either way, advantage to VCU on the defense that way.
Right now, Anthony Grant going with Mick Brown, Will Famini, and Michael Anderson on his front line. He's got the backup lead guard, Joey Rodriguez, on the floor behind with Eric Maynor.
Almost 2 point guards on the floor.
Maynor came off that screen and got shut off. So did Rodriguez.
Sometimes Joey gets a little too close to pressure. That time he pulled it back out. Earlier he lost it.
Maynor, deep three. Michael Anderson on the glass. Fresh 35 for VCU.
Joey Rodriguez knew better than to jack that one. He shoots that one, he can go back and sit down.
True freshman battle here right now. It's from both from the state of Florida. Joey Rodriguez, Eddie Rios for Miami. Mick Brown just absolutely got undressed down there by James Dews, who ripped it away.
They are letting him play inside. This is going to be a heck of a matchup.
Anthony King, face-up jumper, too flat.
VCU wants a quick shot by their opponent. Great pass.
Maynor acrobatically, +1 coming on the Miami foul. That's Eric Maynor, the Wooden and Naismith and Cousy Award candidates.
That's why you have 2 point guards in the game at the same time. Rodriguez got the ball. Maynor ran the wing. Maynor got popped and chance for 3. Great play from the 2 VCU backcourt mates.
Inverted it a little bit there.
Yep.
Maynor running off the ball. Usually he's dealing out those sweet treats, huh?
Wants to catch him too. Rodriguez is very capable as a freshman. A lot of confidence by Anthony Grant to leave him in there.
Eric Maynor not able to finish off a 3-point opportunity, but again, VCU on the glass.
Famini got a hand on it, slapped it out.
Frank Dongo is back on the floor. Maynor pushing off on Rios. Famini. Nope on that jump hook. Maynor's got another offensive board and a fresh 35 again for VCU.
Yeah, Famini didn't make a clean catch there and kind of forced it.
Eric Maynor came up short on that 3, so maybe forcing the 3 there is the leader of this ball club.
Wants to make it happen, obviously. He wants to get his team back into this basketball game.
Miami by 5, and with it as we approach the 8-minute mark. We're very thrilled you're a part of it with us in San Juan. Raymond Hicks absolutely swallowed up by Michael Anderson of VCU.
Miami does a great job of getting the ball in the post and clearing everybody out so he can't help. Look at this move. Oh, geez, Will, you got to be ready, Will.
He no-looked Will Famini, who was not prepared for it. All right, timeout inside the 8-minute mark. Frank Haith in Miami by 5 in the first half. Back at San Juan, Puerto Rico on ESPNU with Miami on top. And Miami will get you in a vice-like grip defensively. I think it's time for Nate Ross to do a little bit of teaching right here as we go to work inside the play. Go ahead, Coach.
Here's a little Walt Frazier. The D stands for decisively deciding to stop the shot. They commit to stop the shot attempt. Everybody stares at the basket. Look, there's 4 guys staring at the ball to stop it, and so far so good. And Mr. King ends it. Get out of here. Blocks it there. Hard to do, but you got to commit to finding the open man cross court. Hasn't worked well for VCU yet because of that guy right there.
Close to half their points off turnovers. And what's the payoff on what you teach us, Nate Ross? VCU, 5 of 20 for a rather chilly 20% here in the first 12 minutes and some change.
The pressure D is keeping him in this thing. Otherwise, they'd be getting blown out.
James Dews to run things offensively. He and Lance Hurdle take an opportunity. Jack McClinton coming off the screen, and you can book that for 3.
Eric Maynor figured out he's not going to shoot it coming off that screen. He's going outside. Bingo, he stuck it.
O'Reilly Auto Parts Puerto Rico tip-off semifinal. Great to have you with us at the Coliseo de Puerto Rico in San Juan. Michael Regai alongside my partner Nate Ross, VCU in Miami. In this semifinal, both winners yesterday. Right now, it's Miami with his 8-point advantage. Michael Anderson just traveled another VCU turnover. So we have seen one of the finest ball clubs in the nation last year on their way to 28 wins and a win over Duke in the tournament at valuing, protecting the basketball. 19 turnovers yesterday, and they're on the road to that again today against Miami.
And their modus operandi is to turn you over. They haven't done that yet. Whoops, spoke too soon.
Jack McClinton wanted to quick trigger that 3 and had it slide out of his hands.
Eric Maynor in that last 3 figured maybe that scattering core is right, that assistant drove. Maybe he will shoot the 3 whenever, and he just did in the previous shot. That time he wanted to, it just slipped out of his hand.
Well, let's see what Eric Maynor, who runs Anthony Grant's offense, gets here on this trip. Joey Rodriguez playing together. So the pair of point guards right now in the backcourt is Jamal Schuler gets a respite. Rodriguez gave it up. Maynor. Pretty pass for Meany to go glass.
That's why he's the great point guard in the Colonial Athletic Association. Great pass, Rodriguez. And then over to Maynor for the assist.
Well, look at the numbers for Miami as they broke that pressure down. And Nate, we're running 3-on-1 with the bigs at the offensive end.
Watch this pass. Rodriguez to Maynor to Famini, easy two. As you just talked about, Michael, when they get the ball in the middle of the court and beat the initial press, it's 4 against 3. There's only 3 left with 2 guys trapped. And that time, Miami attacked it, and VCU hammered it.
With numbers 3-on-1 at the offensive end.
2-3 zone by VCU, first time today.
Making that extra pass. James Dews will bottom out a triple. Or check that, it's McClinton who has hit his 3rd here in the first half.
If you are in a 2-3 zone and you got a black shirt on, you better find out where number 33 is, because he's going to let it fly against zones.
And they stuck McClinton over the other side of the floor. Maynor to trigger. The Miami lead is 9, and Rios wants to push it. Rodriguez took it away. Numbers VCU. Anderson wanted to flush that as he exploded out of the attic and got fouled on his way up top.
James Dews went up there to stop a big-time dunk attempt by Anderson. It's a couple of athletes going after each other.
Well, Michael Anderson got off to just a terrific start yesterday.
Yep.
And wound up his day with, man, had a big afternoon with the 18 points. Had 10 of them in an early flurry in the first half. For Anthony Grant. Played his college basketball at Dayton. He said, you know, his vision is to have VCU be not only the face of the CAA, but be known from sea to shining sea in the national landscape. That's the type of basketball he did last year at 28-7. I think that readily can be available for him.
Absolutely. Here comes a big man for VCU.
Kirill Peshelnikov, the young man from Russia, 6'8" sophomore. And Michael Anderson will get a quick stay on the bench.
There's a 1-3-1 zone full court, 3-quarter court press. VCU's got tons of presses.
The lead is 8 for Miami as they operate against the trap pressure of VCU.
They go back to man out of it.
And Eddie Rios trying to get Miami into this half-court set. There's that trap again with a shot clock now a concern. It's at 5. Shot clock at 3. Rios off the bounce. Offensive foul. Eddie Rios taking the hit down underneath the hoop is Will Famini, the tough-minded senior from Cameroon.
Boy, he had Brian Asbury wide open. Watch to your right of your screen if he doesn't go to the rim. Brian Asbury's standing right there for a layup. Young freshman took it to the rack, and Famini took the blow but got the charge. Your point guards are supposed to distribute. How can you miss Will Famini? That's a big guy in there.
Russian Peshelnikov on that left block. Plenty of time in the shot clock. Rodriguez going a long way here in this stretch in the first half with Eric Maynor. Trying to find Maynor back door. That might get him an exit. We'll see. His 3rd turnover.
Tough angle there. Maynor was open for a split second, but Rodriguez trying to kind of swung it way out in front and let him too much.
Looking down that VCU bench at Jamal Schuler, he has sat a long period of time here.
Yeah, the only thing they can do is take Rodriguez out and make Maynor the point guard again. They haven't done that.
Trying to forge baseline is Brian Asbury of Miami, and Joey Rodriguez took the Asbury charge.
You'll stay in there if you can draw charges for VCU.
Now the threes have been explosive for Miami yesterday against Marist, and then from Jack McClinton and friends today.
Well, Asbury can do it. McClinton does it for anybody, against anybody. He probably does it when he wakes up in the morning. Just big-time range for the young man. And as you said, shoots a phenomenal percentage from behind the arc.
And he was in double figures in points, 27 of 31 games last season. And, you know, 44% from long range. I don't care what league you're playing in.
It's good.
That is strong. Maynor underneath the rim against Anthony King. That rejection from Collins. And that is going to be alternate possession. The arrow says Miami.
Terry
now,
Moore's
wait a
got
minute.
a foul. Terry Moore's going to call
All right,
foul.
Terry Moore was coming from the trail official. And he got that foul on VCU.
Anthony Grant not happy because two of the gentlemen in striped shirts said jump ball, but if one of them, and the third one, obviously Terry Moore called the foul, Anthony Grant did not like that one.
He's got the best end of the bargain, though. Got the foul on VCU.
Yep.
Miami got the basketball. But at the worst, it was going to be a possession arrow to Miami.
Exactly.
Miami kind of casually beating that trap pressure in the backcourt.
When you get in the middle and take your time and don't panic and take a quick shot, you beat them.
8-point lead, and now, though, Dwayne Collins just took a walk. So turnovers starting to mount. That one on the 6'8" sophomore, Dwayne Collins. Miami, just like they did against Marist with an exquisite first half, they've got an 8-point lead in San Juan. Back at San Juan, Miami with an 8-point advantage on VCU. Jack McClinton against Marist hit a couple of trays today. Lights out as he's ringing them up. He's hit 4 straight. Has Jack McClinton from the land of 3 to pretty much put half of the Miami points on the board in this 8-point lead.
Talk about Jamal Shuler not in the game. Jamal Shuler sitting between all the coaches, away from the team. I don't know if that's good or bad. We're going to find out here in a minute.
TJ Gwynn got shut off. VCU needs a strong possession here. Got to result in some points. And in a drought here of late. Pashelnikov got it up on the glass as Jimmy Graham and Anthony King flew at him.
And King guarded him, but Jimmy Graham got a piece of it from the weak side.
Graham will put it on the deck, blow his way to the bucket. He's going to get to the free throw line. Now, Jimmy Graham doesn't get a lot of touches, Nate, and he does a lot of the hard hat, blue collar work on the defensive end. But when he puts it on the floor, he goes strong to the hole.
Yeah, his game is the offensive rebound to put it back, but that's one dribble from 17 feet. That's a good attack, and he got hammered. I believe he delivered the blow rather than
I think
received
so.
it.
He was injured at the end of his sophomore season as he coaxes that first one home. But he was strong to end the year. Last year to end the season, averaged 9 points and 5 rebounds in the last 4 games.
In Goldsboro, North Carolina, you know the teams on Tobacco Row are afraid or sorry he got away.
Yeah. Split the pair, but look who winds up with the basketball. Anthony King for Miami. They're up by 9. And a chance to do more damage. Well, a lot of trouble there. King somehow got it back, and now Frank Haith got a timeout.
He was calling it the whole time he was trapped, but Terry Moore was watching the ball, so he couldn't call a foul. Never saw a coach call the timeout.
Coliseo de Puerto Rico, the hoop venue for this pre-Thanksgiving O'Reilly Auto Parts Puerto Rico tip-off. Michael Regai with Nate Ross, and Anthony Grant led his basketball team to a 28-win season and beat Duke in the NCAA tournament before losing in overtime to Pitt last year. Matching X's and O's with Miami's Frank Haith. Going to come inside 3 minutes left now with Miami with the basketball, and not anymore because they turned it over, and you saw Anthony Grant very calm and composed always. For him to slap his hands and say, yeah, is probably about as demonstrative he's going to get.
I don't know if the initial pass in the offense you want is McClinton to Anthony King, but that's exactly what VCU forced, and he turned it over. I don't know if you want to throw it to the big guy on the wing to start your offense. It's the only one open. VCU got it back.
And Anthony Grant has been playing the big Russian Kirill Pashelnikov now, getting him in. Didn't see him a lot yesterday just to counteract some of that Miami size.
Against King, you got to put a big body in there.
TJ Gwynn wanted to attack the bucket and got bumped. And that is going to be team foul number 7 on Miami. So in the 1 in bonus now. And we still are not seeing the reappearance of Jamal Shuler. Played 7 minutes, first 7 minutes of the game, so he's been out the last 11.
Well, this is good for VCU if they want to get back in it. Obviously, they need to make the free throws for the scoreboard end of it, but if they make it, they get to set their press up full court.
1 in bonus for TJ Gwynn. big offensive board for Larry Sanders. Mick Brown, get away from here, says Anthony King. Another rejection. Hurdle to the hoop. The finger roll went. You can count that. +1 at the line for Lance Hurdle of Miami.
King got beat on the drive, came back to block the shot. Watch King get beat out here. He's beat on the drive, but he recovers, blocks the shot, keeps it in play, as we talked about before. Hurdle one end to the other. Foul chance for 3. Great play.
We mentioned he transferred from UC Santa Barbara and earning the minutes along with James Dews at the lead guard spot. Eric Maynor to get a break as Joey Rodriguez is back for Anthony Grant's Rams.
Pretty good move. UC Santa Barbara to Miami.
Not bad.
Likes the views both
geography-wise, what's real estate all about? You know, huh?
That's it. Location. Pacific.
There you go. Location, baby. Well, the lead is 12. Lance Hurdle. That's a strong move for Miami.
You see coach at the top of the screen. He's playing as tough a D as anybody with a white shirt on.
Wynn gave it up. Well, Larry Sanders short-armed that, the freshman out of Florida. I don't know how much, you know, Jamal Schuler, don't you need that scoring burst from your top scorer on the floor?
Something's going on there. We don't know what. He might be injured, but I don't think he is.
Lance Hurdle will step back and measure that 3. And underneath, we've got a whistle that's going to go on VCU. And it'll send to the free throw line for Miami. The man in the middle, Anthony King. Anthony Grant right now getting up Lance Curse again. I don't know, Nate. Something tells me it's not an injury thing.
No, I don't think it is, but he's just sitting there between the coaches, so he can't bump elbows with the rest of the players, maybe. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully, for him, it's nothing bad, and we'll figure it out or try to figure it out in the second half.
Lance Curse for Larry Sanders. As Anthony King, most impressive. See the taping and the padding on the right hand for that wrist injury he suffered last year. And Nate and I were discussing yesterday, you know, Frank Ape and his coaches, it may be a confidence thing, just feeling that you come off that injury and you want to keep it protected as much as possible.
A little extra support for it as well. More mental than physical, maybe.
Curse will come right off the bench and bomb down a 3.
That's why Coach Grant knows what he's doing. Puts him in, hits a big-time 3. Snags the net, which helps VCU. Here comes the press again.
VCU had to battle back after falling down 6 to Houston midway through the second half yesterday. Joey Rodriguez got way too much of Jack McClinton trying to reach in for the steal.
What you have to do is get a tentative pass, Joey, and you can steal it. You get a sharp pass, gets knocked loose.
Side is Temple, who got beat by 1 by Providence yesterday, will tangle with the College of Charleston. If you'd like more information, log on to ESPNU.com.
McClinton pretty good from the 15-foot mark as well as the deep one.
Yes, he is.
A lot of guys, great three-point shooters, they get this close and not very good.
13, looking for 14, hit the 4 threes. 14 Jack McClinton points, pacing Miami here in the first half. They've opened a 13-point advantage. Anderson got shut off by Jimmy Graham's defense.
VCU's got to finish this half on a positive note. Not like that.
Mick Brown got swatted as that block shot came from Raymond Hicks. Graham strong underneath the bucket, and he's going to the free throw line. Well, I'll tell you what, again, he doesn't get a lot of touches, but if you know, Nate, when he does, he is decisive right away with what he's going to do with the basketball.
Well, Curse grabbed his forearm on the watch. This is a great replay. Watch Curse grab his arm. Rodriguez goes to the field. Watch him grab his arm. Grabbed him on the bicep there. It didn't even affect the shot. I mean, he still went up with him. It's like when Shaquille used to play in college. You foul him, and he lifts you up as he goes. Not pretty, but it went in, Mr. Graham. It's a good shot. He's a big, strong kid who, as you say, takes ultimate advantage of the touches that he gets.
255 pounds with the broad shoulders on that 6'8" frame. He split the pair from the line. Miami doing a great job of the stripe. They're 11 of 13 here in the first half. They opened up a 14-point lead.
VCU has to rely. There you go. When they have to rely on threes or penetrating from beyond the arc, that's not what they want to do. You got to get it inside and try to dunk it, back screen, something to attack the basket. Because you're a little bit hesitant offensively, it's getting smacked back in your face by anybody with a white shirt on that's over about 6'7". Remember, King's not even in the game yet.
Jack McClinton almost fumbled that basketball out of bounds.
Perfect. Middle, reverse, presses over. Good attack.
Well, 11 seconds separating game and shot clock here as we wind it down in half number 1. Graham has to step out on the floor. Lance hurdled to the pull-up. Came up short. Graham had an offensive board, and did he push off to do it? Yes, he did.
Well, anytime you get both hands on the defender, they're going to call. If you have one arm on him, they probably wouldn't have called. To get both hands on it, automatic call. Good news, VCU at the free throw.
Yeah, march it down to that free throw stripe. As we said, Miami 11 of 13 from the line. VCU 4 of 8, so they're only at 50% from the line. Lance Kearse will be there. The name Kearse is a familiar one on the sporting scene. You betcha. His cousin Javon, one of the freak, as he was known, one of the finest rush defensive ends in the National Football League.
Not a bad player. Uncle Javon. Nice to say. Or his cousin, excuse me.
Cousin Javon, yeah.
This is a big free throw here. They cut this to 12 and stop it. That's a whole lot better than going down 14 or 15 into the locker room.
Kearse didn't get the second one to fall as it lodged.
I don't think I've ever seen that on a free throw after it hit the rim. Not initially, but afterwards. That's all right. Prescott set up for VCU. Can't give up an easy one here.
Going to miss a free throw? Let's do it so your Prescott set up, huh?
Houston needed that one yesterday on the miss.
That's right. Miami can use it all now. As we hit 10 seconds left in this first half.
Anything except McClinton, boys, and he won't give up a three.
Hurdle, baseline. Great look to Hicks. Didn't finish, but Collins did. Dwayne Collins on the putback, crashing the hoop. Big first half for Miami. Is on the floor to start the third quarter, the second half of play. He sat for 13 minutes, the last 13 of the first half.
Coach might have been wanting to make a point. You never know. Ooh, that would have been big if it went in just for momentum.
And they got Eric Maynor working off a curl. So let's see. You know, we saw yesterday Anthony Grant, tremendous tactician.
Oh, yeah.
And let's see what he came up with in trying to go inside some things at halftime against Frank Haith's dominant Miami front line.
Well, I would think initially Miami's going to try to pound it inside, and they do a great job of getting everybody away from the post player. So you're on an island playing defense. That man is all about defense. I would think the guys in the black shirts are going to play their butts off defensively. Once again, get the press going and try to bother Miami.
Now, Eric Maynor is just 3 for 19 here in the first game and a half in this tournament, but don't let that fool you. This young man always in control as James Dews will beat that pressure. There's a trap from Maynor. Pretty look to Asbury, who came up short.
Where Dews had a great look cross court, easy layup, but just missed it. Your goal right now, if you're VCU, is make Miami call the first time out, which means you had a little run to get back in this thing. That's the goal for the guys in black right here.
Eric Maynor with Jamal Schuler, TJ Gwynn, Will Famini, Michael Anderson. Those are the 5 on the floor for VCU. Check Miami in a moment. It is their starting 5, though, that began the game. Well, Jimmy Graham certainly bothered that step-back jumper from Will Famini again.
Well, he bumped him so hard the first time he couldn't post up, and he forced him to take the jump shot. Graham won that battle.
Jack McClinton, James Dews in the backcourt, Anthony King, Jimmy Graham, and Brian Asbury up front. It's your quintet for Frank Haith in Miami. They're starters. King will put it on the deck. Anthony King spinning in traffic. Basketball remains with Miami as Brian Asbury was crashing the glass.
Asbury had it in his hands, and it got knocked out of his hands. Miami keeps possession.
Frank Haith turning around the fortunes of this Miami Hurricane program in the ACC. Went to the NIT 2 years ago. Jack McClinton. That got a piece of the shot clock on the triple try. Give it back to VCU.
I think in Anthony Grant's halftime talked about 33 in the white just a little bit. Like, boys, I told you he's going to shoot threes. We told you, we reminded you. I'm just reminding you again. He will shoot a three, and he hurt him in the first half, obviously. Along with the big play, that was the difference in the basketball game.
Yeah, hurt him so much as he stroked 4 straight from home run land. Jamal Schuler trying to get off, and look at Jimmy Graham. That is a major league swat there.
Miami doesn't block it. They tell you I'm blocking it, and then they hurt you. Look out.
McClinton with a rainbow triple. He's missed 2 of them to start the second half. Numbers for Eric Maynor. Jamal Schuler needs it. Bangs it down for the triple.
Yesterday from the right corner at the other end, right there, that was the only 3 he hit yesterday. Just hit one from the right corner here. They need to get him off to get back in this basketball game, obviously.
And that VCU crowd behind the Rams bench regaling Schuler with the shoo after he deposited that 3. They know he sat for almost 14 straight minutes in the first half.
Absolutely. A sub last year, a big-time contributor so far this year, and hopes to be for the rest of the season.
The lead is back to 10. It's a 5-0 run to start the second half.
Interesting. Schuler's guarding McClinton as well. Maynor isn't.
VCU has really picked it up on the defensive end. This is Anthony King. Drop step, but left it short. Brian Asbury's got a bound. Asbury's face-up jumper is pure. I like his game.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's got long arms, gets the ball to keep it active, and offensive second shots are killing VCU. Wide open.
Michael Anderson trying to stroke a 3 with Graham flying. Does Jimmy Graham challenge us every shot in that painted area and beyond?
Got a big-time motor. It just keeps going after you.
How about that recovery? He got out to beyond the 3-point arc from under the hoop to fly at Anderson.
Absolutely.
Asbury to triple. Bang! Brian Asbury.
Asbury's going to be a factor in the ACC. He's going under the radar right now. They know about McClinton, obviously. They know about the big guys. Asbury could be a big factor for Miami in their success in their league play.
Oh, smooth and fluid. The Miami coaching staff telling me earlier in the week. Told us we'd like his game. Jamal Schuler. Like that game, the way he operated it in front of the tall timber around the rim.
Just simply out-quicked all those guys to the rim.
Dues.
Oh, what a
Jimmy Graham. Look at the strength of Graham. Didn't go down for him. Asbury is going to the free throw line as he got fouled on the way to the cup.
Miami is relentless on the offensive glass, and that's what they have to be a successful basketball team. That wasn't successful last year, but with this kind of effort, look at this. There's King, didn't get it. Dues gets it. They just keep going after the glass over and over. You know what? I hate to be a practice player that doesn't get to play or a walk-on at Miami, because you get beat up inside every day in practice. But all it's doing is making these guys better and better for the conference season ahead. We talked about this yesterday, and it's worth repeating. This is not the 12th ranked team in the ACC, I don't believe. No way.
And all of you hoop fans around South Florida, around Coral Gables, keep an eye on this, but you are going to love the relentless approach that Miami brings to the floor each and every game this year under Frank Hayes. I think you're in for a big, big season.
They are watching number 33, Jack the threes hitting. McClinton's a great 3-point shooter. Great combination.
Yeah, the lead is back up to 15. Anderson had to kick it way back up top. Brian Asbury now with a total of 10, and he's hit a couple of threes for 6 of them. Schuler again in traffic.
You know, a team that's ranked 12th in the league, obviously as good as the ACC. What a shot.
Jump hook from about 12 feet away off that mid-left block using glass for Michael Anderson.
What I'm saying is a team that's ranked 12th in the ACC, you look for some kind of flaw, some kind of weakness. I don't see a major weakness in Miami right now. It's a good basketball team, maybe not as deep in the backcourt, but a powerful basketball team.
All right, full timeout inside the 16-minute mark. Miami by 13, and with it when we get back. One advantage. VCU made a little bit of a run. in the opening moments of the second half. But then Brian Asbury shows up. Asbury with 7 quick points, and the lead's back up to 13 again.
Very aptly described as a little bit of a run. Brian Asbury, 1 point per game as a freshman. 10.7 last year. Had to play, as we talked about many, many times, all the injuries. They're just a quality depth in this team this year.
Lance Hurdle off the mark on that long triple try, and that spun out for Dwayne Collins. So Collins back on the floor with Raymond Hicks. Wynn got in trouble and had to give it up. Offensive foul, Jamal Shuler, as Jack McClinton took that charge. All right, now we'll get the inside 16-minute mark timeout. Miami by 13. Come on back to Puerto Rico. Started yesterday, Nate.
Most teams have a shot blocker. Miami is a shot blocking team. They're shot blockers. Watch this. 2 guys will miss this next one. And the 3rd guy, King, goes up and gets it. They can all block shots inside. They're exceptionally good at it. And most importantly, they rarely foul you when they do it. There's King again. And a quality, big man-oriented basketball team, along with McClinton's a great combination.
McClinton and smooth and fluid Brian Asbury as a second scorer on this ball club. Now Eddie Rios got in trouble and he just turned it over. Didn't find Dwayne Collins on his pass.
It's the freshman. He got up in the air and kind of slung the ball rather than pass the ball to somebody.
Jamal Shuler to raise. Well, he had a good look at that 3.
There's Hicks. There's another big man. They got a lot of big bodies.
Yeah, they really do. Dwayne Collins, Raymond Hicks, and Adrian Thomas, all 3 of them that come off the bench. All 6'7" or better and all over 235 pounds. Hicks put it on the floor. Collins had a stick back. Another offensive board for Miami.
In this game, they're just rotating bodies. But when you get into the rigors of the season, somebody gets in foul trouble, they will not lose any depth when they just put another body in there. A little bumps and bruises during the year.
Collins was trying to reverse that basketball to the weak side of the floor and got held.
What impresses me most about big men from Miami is when they rebound the ball, they rebound it with 2 hands. They don't go up and try to grab it with 1 hand and yank it off the tree or whatever, like you pick apples off a tree. They go up and grab it with both hands and control the basketball, and they're big enough and strong enough to control it when they grab it. They're just fun to watch.
A fundamentally sound basketball
Absolutely.
team. You know? They play the game the right way.
They're well coached. Frank Nath and company and his assistants doing a great job. He's a zone by VCU, first time in a while. Better find number 33.
Got to. Miami's lead is 13 as we hit the 14-minute mark here. VCU, as we said, had it down to 10, but that's been as close as they've come. Shot clock at 4. The youngster, Eddie Rios, got a fade away. Hicks will crash the glass and came away with a loose basketball and got fouled by Eric Maynor. Another fresh 35-second possession for Miami.
Yeah, the VCU's modus operandi has been to wear you out defensively. Well, Miami's offense is wearing out VCU right now, just with their relentless attitude on the boards, and they just keep going after you and keep banging you and eventually wear you down.
Now Collins on that right block. Rios for 3. Nope. Came up very short on the side of the rim.
There's not many teams that can wear you out because of their offense. Miami might be one of them this year. Not in they're going to score 120 points. They just keep banging you and going inside. Eventually, you're just physically worn out.
I don't know, Nate. They're averaging 94 and a half.
That's true. That's a good point.
What? Maybe they can be up around the 100. It'll change a little bit, huh, when they get in the ACC.
Oh, yeah. Well, the ACC has many big bodies to start, but I don't know if they have the depth of keep throwing in waves of bodies, most teams in the ACC or anywhere in the country.
That was a sweet delivery on that runner from Eric Maynor. And now Maynor will help pressure the VCU contingent, making a lot of noise now. Great following that the Rams have. Back to within 11.
They don't look real good today, but they're going to be a big-time factor in the Colonial League this year.
How about Raymond Hicks? He put it on the deck, and that very softly floated it home.
As I said, I keep looking for a chink in the armor, and I just don't see it in Miami. I just look for much better things than they're predicted. It's great to be picked last if you got this kind of talent.
Will Femini, been rather quiet today. Nowhere to go against Dwayne Collins and threw the basketball away.
I think he thought he heard a whistle. Coach Grant's way out of the box.
Anthony Grant grabbing the basketball and with some debating going on. College Hoops on ESPNU continues tonight. Both semifinal games in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Puerto Rico tip-off. Arkansas at Providence. John Pelfrey against Tim Welsh going at each other at 5:30, and then 7:30. Two losers from yesterday, Temple and the College of Charleston. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Puerto Rico tip-off, ESPNU tonight. John Shambi and Fran Fischilla will call the action in those two for you. James Dews has booked that three. Confident stroke for Dews out of that left corner.
Big complimentary player to McClinton from outside as well.
Eric Maynor, that's uncharacteristic for Maynor as he quick triggered a three with his club down 16.
Yeah, you're right. You described it aptly. That is very uncharacteristic for anybody from VCU, especially Maynor, and he has not had a good night tonight shooting the ball. Or last night, for that matter.
1 of 12 yesterday, and now the steal from Jamal Shuler. Pretty look for Maynor, and that's a quick deuce for VCU.
Big hustle by Maynor to see Jamal steal the ball and then get down there to help him out.
McClinton got tripped inadvertently, but
you had to call it.
Yeah, the feet tangled up, but Terry Moore had to blow the whistle.
It's all about advantage, disadvantage in this game, and he had a disadvantage because he tripped.
All right, inside the 12-minute mark, let's everybody catch our breath and come back. Anthony Grant not happy. His ball club down by 14. Do they have a run in them? We'll find out about the Rams when we get back. And for Frank Haith, yeah, hey, you know, they shoot the three with confidence, and you have Jack McClinton leading your parade from a long distance. That is probably a very comforting feeling for the head coach.
Brian Asbury 2 for 3 from downtown as well. It's always good, and if you miss it, you got some big guys to go get a rebound.
You like to call it downtown?
Downtown, beyond the arc.
I like, you know what I call it?
What's that?
The suburbs. I'll tell you what.
Well, where McClinton shoots, it is the suburbs.
Well, that, because, but most gyms, most arenas are where? Downtown.
Good
so
point.
If you shoot it from the suburbs.
I
You with
agree.
me? All right, partner.
Good call, Terry.
Yeah, Jack McClinton right there. Yeah, that's...
forced him to, great defense, forced him to take a half a step back, stepped on the line.
Yep. Timeline violation, so give it back to VCU. McClinton hit those 4 trays in the first half.
Set placement out of bounds, flex kind of offense to get some screens going to open somebody up somewhere.
Eric Maynor being checked by Jack McClinton. Two of the premier backcourt players in the land. That's Michael Anderson to deliver a face-up J.
39 or 40-inch sleeves on that young man. He used them all to get that one over the outstretched hand of the defender.
5-second call. The pressure from VCU rattled Miami as Adrian Thomas, who's now going to head to the bench for Lance Hurdle, did not get the basketball inbounded.
That's exactly, this is how VCU wins and gets back in basketball games. Look at this, a layup.
Maynor came in for the weak side. It got the pretty pass and dropped it home.
It made Mr. Hurdle look bad.
The lead is back to 10 and manageable for VCU.
Stop here, be big.
And that's a hold that's going to go on Joey Rodriguez. Good time to tell you who we are, where we are, and why we are. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Puerto Rico tip-off here on ESPNU semifinal action. Two winners from yesterday, VCU and Miami at Coliseo de Puerto Rico here in San Juan. With Nate Ross, our producer Howard Miller, director Tom Domer, and all the crew. I'm Michael Regai. I'm delighted you're a part of it. Anthony King is back, big and strong on the offensive glass, and he's going to the free throw line off the McClinton missed jumper.
It's a big point from an ex-coach like me. You just love to see a guy rebound with 2 hands. Coach John Wooden used to teach it all the time, and he was maybe the best there was at teaching kids how to play this game in his era. It's so much harder to do it, but it's so much more effective when you can grab it with both hands. And that man and his assistants have done a great job of teaching all the people, not just King, but everybody, how to rebound the basketball properly.
Well, Anthony King, if you weren't with us yesterday, a wonderful story from the NCAA. He received what was called a hardship waiver and got an extra year of eligibility because last year when he went out with that wrist injury, he had not played in over 20% of his team's games. And so he was granted the extra year, and what a difference maker he could be for Frank Haith and the Canes.
Oh, no question about it. He's just a leader of many that can get inside and make a factor. Jimmy Graham, obviously Anthony King, Dwayne Collins, who played a lot last year because of the injuries. There's just a lot of quality depth in the front court.
The lead back up to 12 again. Maynor slides his way through the paint, and with the left hand got that to drop.
Maybe he's coming out of his little slump here in the last day and a half.
Yeah, he is. 6 straight for Eric Maynor. Not 6 straight, but now they're looking at pressure again.
There it
and they
is.
got the turnover. Well, that VCU bench was up in arms. They thought they got a walk in the backcourt.
Yeah, they thought Rodriguez got shoved, but they forced McClinton to a bad pass.
Anderson wanted to drop down to Famini, and he got fouled from over the back by Anthony King.
That was really a smart play by Will Famini. Most of the time when somebody like Anderson goes up to shoot the J, you turn to go get a rebound. He didn't. Anderson saw that, went into him, and over the back by Anthony King, foul.
Jack McClinton is going to take a seat. Eddie Rios is back, and also Raymond Hicks will return to give Anthony King a respite.
This is big to get this to single digits.
They had it to 10 a moment ago. Eric Maynor, quick look inside that found Frank Dongo, and Dongo is going to go to the free throw stripe. Off inbounds, they've been able to slide a couple of offensive players open here. Maynor first, and now Dongo.
A lot of teams have different philosophies. Some teams, their philosophy is just get it inbounds and run my offense. VCU, by last time when Maynor got the layup and this time Dongo got the layup, they want to execute something to get a quick score. And last 2 times it worked. Foul last time, Maynor with the layup before that.
And so you have to tell me that that young man doesn't look like he could go still put on that Dayton Flyer uniform and suit up. That was 20 years ago.
Just that stare it gets you. That's an intense young man.
I mean,
very
the
focused.
lean and svelte look.
Oh, yeah.
Still his playing weight. For 20 years ago, he played for the Flyers. And now, as Nate just mentioned, the 2 free throw makes from Frank Dongo.
Freshman with the ball.
The lead is down to 8. Miami will get across that timeline.
Now you beat the first wave. Now you got to play and beat the second wave half-court defense.
Rios threw it away. Turnover, Miami. Here comes the Rams of VCU.
Absolutely.
They've got a chance to get their deficit down to 6, maybe to 5. VCU only shot 25% in the first half. Look at the quantum leap here in the second half. Rios on the Miami foul. He better be careful.
He already said, he said, call it both ways. You don't say that to a referee as a freshman, especially when you get in ACC games. You just don't do that. Look like he hit the ball, but watch Rios after he fouls him. All ball. Call it both ways.
Lance Hurdle, Eddie Rios, Dwayne Collins will all take seats. Jimmy Graham. Starters back on the floor, and McClinton, Asbury, and Anthony King. Maynor, 10 of his points here in the second half. Simply had the basketball slide out of his hands, but it will remain with VCU.
We get a wide shot here. It's easy to watch the basketball when you're home on television watching a basketball game. Watch Famini and King. It's WWE inside, folks. Watch them bang each other inside. It's a big-time battle.
Maynor to unload. Came up on the side of that rim. Anthony King just back on the floor, says, everybody get out of the way. I got a defensive board here. Don't worry.
Once again, 2 hands. No press by VCU after the miss. They can't.
James Dews. That floater was contested on the baseline, and now we've got contact around the hoop. And that foul is going to go on VCU. They got Frank Dongo.
Good defense on the initial shot, but then the second one hurt him.
TJ Gwynn. You see Gwynn, who wears number 42, will replace Frank Dongo. So Gwynn back on the floor. Gives a little extra firepower. We saw Gwynn hit a couple of threes yesterday.
Once again, no Jamal Schuler.
Yeah, Schuler is down again. Started the second half, and now on the bench. Great look to Hicks, who attacked the bucket and finished.
Attacked the middle of the zone. That's a soft spot. Took it right to the rack. Great recognition by Miami to changing defense at VCU, the 2-3 zone.
Lead back to 10 again. We'll get close to the 8-minute mark here on this VCU trip to the offensive end of the floor. The Rams came back late yesterday to beat Houston. Gwynn to trigger that short jumper. Now Anthony King starting to own the glass. One and done with King back on the floor for VCU.
Anthony King's going to make his rankings go way up with all the pro scouts that are in this and the rest of the season. He is a pro prospect par excellence, I believe.
Could play the 4 in the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
Hicks again with that big stride to the rim, and he got fouled by Will Famini on the way to the bucket.
Everybody wants a rebound. You don't have to score. Just go rebound like that, and you'll be a factor in the NBA.
Sure. Give me a guy to get up on that glass and go get the ball. The lead is 10 inside the 8-minute mark. Miami's basketball with the 10-point advantage when we come back to San Juan.
I got great trivia for you.
Go ahead, give it to me.
No free plugs, but Parrish's grandfather opened the hotel we're staying in. First pina colada ever made was made at that hotel in 1949. The bartender, I mean, the guy behind the bar mentioned that to me last night when I was walking by.
Is that right? And you believe him?
No,
no questions asked.
It's written in the brochure. It's actually written in the menu.
I hear you. Of course, you and pina coladas, you know, I mean, that's right up your alley, my man.
Flowery shirts, why not?
Of course. The lead is 10 for Miami. Eric Maynor to the pull-up. An offensive board. And VCU.
Good job by Curse not to walk there.
Yeah, Lance Curse, who just checked back in.
They're getting great shots. They just got to convert a couple of them and get back in this thing.
Keeping the possession alive with another 35-second shot clock to work with Nate Ross on Michael Regai here in San Juan. VCU got it down to 10. Anderson put it on the deck and went glass. Anthony King to secure the basketball again for Miami.
That's 2 very good looks for VCU. Just did not convert on either one of them.
Yep, Maynor first. Rattled out on him, and then Michael Anderson.
Freshman Rodriguez getting some quality minutes here for VCU.
Brian Asbury hasn't had a shot in quite some time after he was strong. Maynor on the rip away. Eric Maynor to the bucket and missed it, but then got undercut by Brian Asbury, and he'll get to the free throw line.
The reason Maynor went up there with 2 hands is he was expecting to get the shot blocked. He didn't. He got fouled. But he was, watch his anticipation. Great hand tonight. And he knows somebody's coming to swat this thing. 2 hands. Ooh, I don't know about that.
Asbury pulled back, decided not to go for the swat attempt.
His feet came out from under, and the referee kind of anticipated that Asbury pushed him to do that. We didn't see that on that particular angle, but
Eric Maynor and VCU, the benefit from it.
Yep. And they were waiting for the block. That's what the accumulation of blocks all night long gets in your head. They're coming after me. He went up with 2 hands. I thought he was going to try to dunk it. I think he took off a little too early. Like I can talk about dunking. I dream about it. I've never done it. Never can do it. Off a trampoline,
what about with a volleyball or a baseball or a tennis ball?
Yeah, and a mini tramp maybe.
Oh, come on. We all did that when we had some ups back in the day.
Yeah, well, I never had the ups. I never had the ups.
Yeah. You must have been a suburban guy. Then you were up in the city.
Absolutely.
Dews to raise up. James Dews had a good look at 3, and now a hold on Eric Maynor. And that is going to be team foul number 6 on Miami, so still not in the 1 and bonus.
See him faking my funny bone, he keeps saying. So he's losing a little feeling. You can see him grabbing that left elbow. He'll be fine.
Eric Maynor's had the strong second half.
Fighter. The kid's a fighter. It's all there is to it.
Hadn't shot the ball well here in San Juan, but that has not diminished his ability to make plays.
If you're not a fighter, you're not going to get on the court for Anthony Grant.
T.J. Gwynn thought about that against James Dews.
Well, folks, this is a team that beat Duke last year in the NCAA, so they are a scrappy bunch.
Maynor, great look baseline. Got it. VCU back to within 6. Eric Maynor was the one that beat Duke. And Miami's just thrown it away with that relentless VCU pressure.
Well, James Dews taking the ball out of bounds. Probably not what Frank Hates wants. He might get one of his point guards to take it out, because possession's the most important thing right now.
Frank Hates says, whoa, we got to talk about this, to his Canes of Miami. As Eric Maynor and company on a 12-4 run in the last 3 minutes to close from 14 down to 6 down. The run that we anticipated is right here, right now, and it's been strong for the Rams of VCU.
VCU VCU is going to stretch this out. Look at the bottom of the screen, folks. 4 timeouts for VCU, only 2 left for Miami. If they need him, they're going to use him down the stretch. This is a big possession, maybe the biggest possession in the game.
Yeah, they can cut it to 4, maybe down to 3. We'll see. And it's not going to happen now because T.J. Gwynn, or did they say it was last touch Miami? No, Gwynn fumbled it out of bounds. Turnover on the VCU Rams.
So Jamal Schuler came in the game for that play, and you can see right in the back of your picture, it goes out of the game now. Interesting.
I'll have to talk to the coaching staff, Anthony Grant and VCU, about this. Schuler has barely played 10 minutes in this one here this afternoon. Now this is Anthony King against Lance Kearse. Miami trying to run their offense. They've been very sweet at reversing the basketball today. McClinton's going to pull the trigger and go glass for that triple.
That's cold-blooded. I know he didn't call bank, but that's a big-time 3 in this situation.
Jack McClinton. I'm a shooter with no he stroked that in the face of a trap cub and a double team on him.
Yeah, 2 guys came after him the first time, then he went backdoor on him.
Joey Rodriguez back at the floor. Rodriguez tried to touch up that left-handed runner.
Well, VCU's going to watch this tape and watch 3 or 4 balls, a couple left-handed shots from different people. Anderson had just rolled off the rim at crucial times.
Inside the 5-minute mark right now. Miami with the basketball and up by 9. Raymond Hicks, back rim, that short J. We've got a hold that's going to go on Anthony King. No, it's not King. Let's check it. I thought they got King for a reach-in. Instead, it's going to go on T.J. Gwynn, and King's going to be the one to shoot it twice.
Exactly. King's going to the line. Once again, 2 big, strong hands on the rebound. Gwynn with the foul, King to the line.
Well, now with the basketball going to come to the offensive end again for VCU after these free throws. Jamal Schuler back in the floor. It's almost like Anthony Grant's going offense-defense.
Game plan to stop this team. You better stop this guy for being a force around the basket. Whether he scores points or not, it's not the factor. He's just a big-time force around the rim. And that man knows it better than anybody. He missed him last year when he was injured and out of all those games. Got that extra year of eligibility, making it pay.
The lead was down to 6 a moment ago. It's back up to 10 again. And make it 11 as Anthony King is perfect from the line twice on a couple of throws. Big
asset when a big man can make free throws because they're going to get hammered a lot inside. Not the best free throw shooters on most teams, but he is a good one.
5-0 Miami run is taking the lead from 6 to 11. And Jamal Schuler threw it away as he and Eric Maynor not communicating.
Grant on the sidelines, Mr. Cool. He might be burning inside, but he's Mr. Cool, and that's all you see as a player, and that's what you appreciate. He doesn't lose it, as a lot of coaches do.
Well, the pressure now from Michael Anderson against Raymond Hicks. Stolen away momentarily by T.J. Gwynn, but he lost it out of bounds. It'll go back to Miami.
It's exactly what you want if you're VCU. You want the man to turn his back. Hicks turned his back to the offense, and they got the trap and almost got the steal. But once he turns his back, that's when you go double team.
Frank Apes said, you know, Raymond, I appreciate what you did, but get the basketball in the hands of our guards. Which he did with first Lance Hurdle and now Jack McClinton.
Still plenty of time left, but Miami's not going to have run too much clock here. Just try to score. Look at this shot.
Clinton going glass with that off-balance runner that went.
He just gave me the R in horse on that one. Great shot.
Good call. That is horse-like out in your driveway.
Absolutely. I wouldn't play him in horse. He'd burn you.
McClinton with 5 straight. He's got 21 to lead everybody. Maynor. Nope. Anderson with a stick back that wouldn't go down, and now James Dews has fouled T.J. Gwynn of VCU. Jack McClinton, 5 threes on the day. Back at Puerto Rico, Miami only up 6 a moment ago, now up 13 wide. Jack McClinton, he has shown his offensive game to be one of great resume and from great distance.
I was just going to say, there is no range. That three-point line means nothing to him. Look at this one. It's beyond the NBA line. Nothing but the bottom. That was close to the line, but it was still for 3. And then he hit the runner right after that. He's a very, very good shooter and very confident young man when he gets the ball.
18th time in his career for Jack McClinton over the 20-point barrier. And I started to hope you were around yesterday when I started telling you about how this young man really exploded last year. Averaged 17 a game. Miami even a little bit better than that in ACC play.
Talk about Lofton from Tennessee, a great shooter. I'd put McClinton up with him right there. He's a very, very good shooter as well.
Miami on a 7-0 run. They were up 6 after their 16-point lead had dwindled down, but now they've taken it to 13 again with less than 3.5 to go. And Anthony King gets a timeout as Will Famini was all over him and in his shirt.
Biggest guy on the court, 38 feet, 40 feet from the basket. That's exactly what you want. Famini in his face. Smart play by Mr. King, calling the timeout.
Some of the notables, John Beilein goes from West Virginia to Michigan, opened the door for Bobby Huggins to go from Kansas State there, and the rest that you saw. Tubby Smith up in Minnesota. Right now that rainbow 3 at that from Lance Hurdle.
There's a huge list every year of changes.
I bet you makes you think about getting back in, right?
It makes me think about it, yeah. Grab the old cell phone, huge numbers I have in it.
There you go. Eric Maynor had that jumper curl out on him. So the lead is 13, and you know, because of the way they turn you over, if anybody can get back into this, it's VCU. However, there isn't a whole lot of time to work with.
I would think McClinton's going to have the ball in his hands a lot.
As we approach 2.5 left. Dews gave it up. Puerto can't triple. Look at the board from Raymond Hicks. Just a great ups on the offensive end. Fresh 35, and that's going to get a little bit closer to putting this one in the icebox for Miami. McClinton had it scraped away. Loose on the deck. Basketball belongs to VCU with 2:09 to go.
As soon as we get down to 1:30, or even maybe now, the enemy is not VCU anymore. The enemy is the clock for Miami. They just have to beat the clock and they win the basketball game.
Frank Hayes Ball Club looking to go to 3-0. They blew up on Florida Southern before they came here to Puerto Rico, and then, of course, took care of Marist yesterday. And just these 120 seconds right now from going to 3-0. Famini in the block. Famini just had to, you know, throw it over the top of Anthony King. Maynard to triple, and he'll book it. 10-point game with 1:45 to go.
Anthony King is just too big and too strong for Famini. He tried to do the drop step, tried to cross over on him, and King just laterally moved and kept his position. And Famini, as you said, had to throw it over him, not even shoot it. Offensive rebound was good, but he's just too tough inside, King is.
VCU now using another timeout. They've
Back
got
in the
3
year when
left.
UCLA won all those 9 out of 10 or whatever championships, national championships, there was maybe 100 great players in the country, and UCLA got their 15. Now, because of this thing we just talked about in New York, there are thousands of great players in the country, and everybody gets a couple, 3, 4 of their share. That's why there's such great parity. That's why we saw the upsets, Gardner-Webb over Kentucky, things like that. There's just so many great players. ESPN, a great partner in that they show all these college and high school games. That's why there's so many great
continuing to grow.
Oh,
no
absolutely.
Doubt. We saw Eric Maynor a moment ago with a strong second half. Jamal Schuler to ring the bell as he drops that baseline jumper. 8-point game, 1:39 left. We'll see how long VCU is going to go before they start fouling. Hoping to get a timeline violation there. But Dews got that pass from Jack McClinton, but forced it up and didn't finish.
You almost don't even want to shoot the ball. Just hold it and make them foul you, because if you miss like that, here they come.
Well, 80 seconds left. Remember, I said it was a 13-point game at 59-46, 5-0 run.
Miami won, VCU 3 timeouts left. I would think Coach uses one here if they score.
Well, Eric Maynor with Jamal Schuler, Michael Anderson, Joey Rodriguez, and Will Famini. That's a 5 on the floor for Anthony Grant. So they're letting the freshman handler Schuler to unload, and that came up short. Jamal had a good look at 3, and Anthony King got fouled by Will Famini. If that would have gone, probably had something. It would have been a 5-point game. Schuler had a clean look coming off that baseline screen.
Yeah, they ran that play about 3 or 4 times. They just run Schuler off both post people screening, and the defender has to get around 2 different bodies. As you said, he didn't that time. Schuler got the wide open 3, just couldn't connect.
With this an 8-point advantage and the 3 timeouts still left for VCU, and of course Anthony King shooting this 1 in bonus. VCU, the next foul will put Miami in the double bonus. King does not earn the extra opportunity though. Still time for VCU. Got to hit quick.
Just score. Don't have to be 3. Just need points.
Maynor turn the corner and floats the teardrop up and down. 2-possession game, 6-point Miami lead.
They don't use the timeout because they know they're going to press anyway. Most teams call the timeout to set up the press. Look at this.
Hicks lost the ball. Rodriguez, I don't know where Joey was trying to go. I guess to Michael Anderson, and the compound manners, Joey Rodriguez down on the deck and in obvious pain.
Hopefully he just banged knees there with Deuce, but he wanted to shoot the 3 and he hesitated a little bit. Then he tried to penetrate and make a pass and just lost the basketball.
So with 50 seconds left, the lead is at 6. Well, Rodriguez had a shot. He had an opportunity here.
Schuler gets the inbounds pass. There he is. He looked like he wanted to shoot, then he kind of hesitated. Ball bounced off a lot of bodies, and both he and Deuce on the deck. Here it is again. It's hard to tell from that angle if he twisted his knee or just banged it, but he's on the floor. So, I mean, he's still on the court playing, so he's okay. King just missed last time. Here he is again.
He's been at the free throw stripe quite a bit here in the second half. He's trying to bump this Miami lead up to 8. ACC against the CAA. Miami and VCU going after one another, and Anthony Grant says, give me a 30-second timeout, so take VCU down to 2 left now. And Anthony King still has another free throw coming with this lead at 7. So we'll see. I mean, you hit it right, Nate, talking about the enemy being the clock, but let's face it now, Miami has, yes, the pressure from VCU has certainly been a part of it, but Miami's gotten a little bit sloppy here coming down the stretch in the backcourt.
You asked me before, when all those coaching changes, do I wish I got back in it? We don't know how this was going to come out, but if Miami wins, what I don't miss is watching that tape and missing the ones that rolled out and the shot that could have gone in and staring at the stat sheet. I don't miss that at all. When this game's over, may the best team win and I get to walk out of the building.
Yeah, that's right.
You relive it when you coach it over and over and over. It's just part of the profession. It's just what you do.
And you've got 48 hours now, too, before your next one. Sure. If you're the loser of this one, to ponder what went wrong before the finale. And coming up, too, in the winner's side of semifinal number 2, Patrick Beverly, who had 16 last night against Jeff McDermott. McDermott went strong 6 of 12 from the floor. Providence with just a magnificent run late, a 14-0 to get over the top of Temple.
I don't know how football coaches do it. You got to wait a week for the next game. That would drive me nuts.
Anthony King hit a pair of throws, so the lead is 8 again. Old Frank Haith doesn't want that. You know, Frank. Look at Frank Haith. He's got his hands spread and asking Lance Hurdle why.
Yeah, he's not questioning the referees. He's looking at his team saying, "What are you doing?"
Up 8 and stopping the clock on a foul to send VCU to the free throw line.
That's exactly right.
Rodriguez has got another one coming. As Miami, that's their 18th foul, so he's earned the bonus.
Coach Grant going back to his state where he knows every high school coach, probably in the state of Florida, to get Joey Rodriguez.
Rodriguez cleanly connects on both of them from the line.
Now, McClinton taking it out smart. Last time other people threw it away, McClinton did not. Good play.
Asbury, you can run that baseline, but that's the third 5-second violation on the inbound here in the second half for Miami.
When you run that kind of play where you step somebody else out, the person who was out of bounds has to immediately step in bounds and hit him. You can't wait. They did, and they got burned.
Don't necessarily need the three here. Schuler found Famini inside. Will Famini didn't finish. Why? Anthony King was staring him down and challenged his shot.
Such a big factor when you try to get the ball to the rim. Famini's a big man. Anthony King is bigger and stronger.
Famini down on the deck. Anthony King extending his hand, but Miami's going to parade to the free throw stripe again with 31.8 left. This final 2 minutes has really stretched it out. And at the time, Miami's lead was 13.
Anthony King keeps possession and then just gets a hand on the ball and tries to get it down. Anthony King fell on about 1/3 of Will Famini's arm, and that had to hurt, obviously. Not only did he hit the deck, but he had Anthony King on top of him a little bit. Hopefully he's fine. Maybe just got the wind knocked out of him. Big time fatigue after banging with Anthony King all night as well. He'll be all right. Take a deep breath. He's okay. Tough kid.
And been a sturdy rock at Gibraltar during the course of his collegiate career at VCU. And his work today. As I said, the strong contingent of followers of the Rams have made their way from the state of Virginia down here to San Juan. Jack McClinton at the free throw line now. And this, this is a double bonus now. So if McClinton even hits one of these, it turns into a 3-possession game.
Big difference.
Big difference is right.
The late, great Coach Al McGuire used to always talk about the even and the odd ticks before the 3, but 3 possessions is a big difference.
It is now a 3-possession game right now, and McClinton has a chance to bump it up to 8. Well, look at Miami. They have really made VCU pay from the free throw stripe, as McClinton now has 23 in the day. A couple of strong strokes there. And Eric Maynor has turned the corner, got fouled and delivered, and will go to the free throw line. Frank Haith just turned his back on his basketball team, almost as if to say, I do not believe them.
Smart play by Eric Maynor. He knew he was going to get hammered. He took it into the defenders. He's coming right into your TV. Watch this. He gets popped and then sticks it in.
Let's listen.
Oh, man, he hit hard. Oh.
Quite a way to earn the N1 for Eric Maynor at the stripe.
At that age, you recover quick. At my age, it takes about 3 weeks for that pain to go away.
You feel those bumps and bruises, huh?
Absolutely. Great play by the young man, who did not have a good first game or a good first half today.
He's really responded in the second half. 5-point game, got a foul right away, and boy, do they attack. Hicks will head to the free throw line, so Raymond Hicks to the stripe for Miami. Now, he needs to hit these. He needs to hit one of them anyway to put it back on a 2-possession game.
Well, you look at VCU with the 2 timeouts left there, and you wonder, why didn't he use his timeouts? It's an asset if you're a VCU kind of team with Anthony Grant. You know you're going to press anyway, so there's no need to call timeout to set up your press. You guys know that's what you do when you score, so you're in it all the time.
Had Miami been oh so stellar at the free throw line today.
That's the difference in the basketball game.
No question.
We look at field goals. Because of McClinton's threes, there might be equal number of field goals made, but the free throw line made the difference.
Well, Miami is just as sharp as can be from the stripe. Their lead is back up to a 3-possession lead. Coming up next, the 2007 Boost Mobile Elite 24 Hoops Classic. Stay for that here on ESPNU. Gwynn got his own putback to drop. Back to a 5-point game with 18 seconds left. McClinton ahead of Maynor. And Maynor fouled Jack McClinton, who went tumbling into that first row down underneath the Miami hoop.
The young man is sweeping up the floor. That's the only way, and it takes guts to do that in a close game like this, but that's the only way to break that pressure. They deny everything, just throw it over the top. McClinton and Maynor in a race. McClinton got it and got hammered.
I'm a little bit surprised. There have been a couple of opportunities where Miami, maybe not on that one, but you know, James Dews took a runner. They could have pulled the basketball back and have taken shots.
Yeah, let the clock run.
That with a couple of bad fouls on the defensive end.
Well,
they've elongated the game somewhat on themselves, Nate.
Coach Haith Miami's going to be happy, obviously, if they win this game. But Coach Haig's going to look at that tape and say, guys, we're going to look at a few things we could have done better down the stretch. And that is two of them you just alluded to. They fouled VCU, and they didn't let the clock run.
Well, back to a 3-possession game, though, because the work at the free throw line stays just extraordinary for Miami. Lance Kearse will throw that down on his way to the bucket.
And they let him go, finally.
Finally just let him go. 67-62. I'm going to get another free throw trip. Maynor got a steal. Kearse is going to the free throw line.
And he could have made that one. That one rolled out of the rim. Holy Christmas.
Now, listen, we have been wonderfully impressed, and rightfully so, with the Miami Hurricanes for 40 minutes yesterday and about 37.5 today. But, Nate, their Achilles heel is having trouble closing.
2 tips, and then Kearse has a chance to make a 3-point play out of this one. The inbound defender tipped it. Then Kearse got the ball off of Maynor's tip. Kearse almost got a 3-point play out of this. This is not the finish that man wants in your screen right there. Once again, VCU, plenty of timeouts left, but they're going to press anyway. I guess that was his 5th foul. That's why we have the delay.
Yeah, James Hughes has just picked up his 5th. Brian Asbury to check back in now for Miami.
And that basically turns into a VCU timeout. The good thing about VCU not calling timeout when they press, Miami can't go over there and say, oh, this is what we're going to do against their press. They just got to try to execute. They have not been successful the last couple of times in trying to just get the ball in bounds.
Well, Lance Kearse back at the free throw strike. If he hit them both, it could have went back to a 1-possession game. He's sitting on 5 right now. Anthony Grant knows that. Kearse has got to try to split the pair. Or do you want to miss on purpose here, down 5 with only 7 seconds left and crash?
I think so. They're going to, and they don't just instantly foul. They steal first. Then if they don't get the steal, they foul. Or they got to get in bounds first.
Still a 2-possession game in the hands of Lance Hurtle. And now with just 4 seconds left and inside 4, there's the foul on Hurtle. So finally, that should probably just about do it. And the fans that have come from South Florida here to San Juan recognize that as Frank Haith going up and down his bench and congratulating his Canes. And we said yesterday, I think that this helps to wipe away some of that sting from closing out the Orange Bowl with that this disastrous 48-0 shutout loss for Randy Shannon's football squad to Virginia a week ago Saturday.
I think I've wiped some of the sting of Coach Haith last season as well, with all those injuries and not a successful year in the ACC. Better watch out, the rest of the ACC teams. The Hurricanes are back.
They are back, and they're 2-0 here in this tournament now, as Eric Maynor will see it come to an end as 40 minutes of basketball in the books, and Miami's Hurricanes had the big lead early and hold on to beat VCU the final at 69-63. So that's going to do it for us.